welcome back to the You Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? What's the haps?
I'm great. I have a little bit of I had an irritating thing happen to me this weekend, but I want to hear, before we get into that, people want to know, that as of recording, our episode hasn't even come out yet. Only the subscribers have heard it. And I've heard that people really want to know if you ever went on the date or you were in dating scheduling hell from last week.
We did go out after I said we should just cancel. I said, listen, and I said it as nice as you could possibly say it, which I could understand it wouldn't sound nice.
Okay.
I said, listen, I truly wish you the best, but I just think we should just call this off.
Right.
And because I don't want to disappear on you.
Okay.
And I've disappeared on many people. I was like, for some reason, I just feel like I need to
tell you
and
right.
then
warn you.
Yeah. This is
not going to happen.
Good luck with everything.
Right.
No malice. And she was like, I was looking forward to meeting. We should get together. And then we ended up going for a walk.
Okay.
And it was very nice. She was very nice. That was it.
That's it?
It ended up being a worthwhile walk.
You had a nice time.
I had a nice time.
Did she know that you spoke about her on the show? I mean, I guess this episode, that wouldn't have come out.
I'll find out after this comes out.
Yes,
I'm sure.
Let me know if you get a text.
I'll get a text that was like, I heard you. I get that text a lot. Good thing I made it to the podcast. Or it's something that I've talked about.
Do people say that pissed off or?
I don't think so. It's kind of something I take a lot of pride in. That
you never say anything mean.
Yeah, I take a certain amount of pride that I'm
on air.
Right. When these cameras go off, oh boy. No, it was worthwhile to tell the story because it's relatable to people. Mm-hmm. There's value. It's not just for me to trash someone.
Right.
And I don't think I was trashing anyone. I'm just saying the reason I would talk about dating scheduling hell is because people are going through that.
Right.
I can't be alone. So, and we're too I think I mentioned she was in the health sector. And that was kind of why we were in planning hell. It's funny. I ended up being right.
She also had a busy schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
She has a schedule that, honestly, it was kind of funny. At one point, she's like, and you thought you were too busy for me. Okay. It's yeah.
So speaking of doctors.
Yeah, wait, so what's annoying you?
All right, speaking of doctors.
I love a Jordana's annoyed story.
Is a vet a doctor?
Is a vet a doctor? As
I know
Kramer once said, you got to know a horse, an eel, a dog, a cat. You got to know a lot of different
bodies. Yeah.
So I have respect for a vet.
Okay. I guess they don't go to medical school. They go to veterinary school.
Okay, so you start dating someone. You go, Jared, I'm dating a doctor, and then I find out it's a vet. I would think that you were hiding something.
Okay, you would think that was a lie of omission,
right?
Sort of, right?
I'm dating a vet. Is or a veterinarian. Vet could be confused for a war hero.
No.
Right. No.
Veterinarian, yeah.
Veterinarian, yeah. If you said doctor instead of veterinarian, I would think you were hiding something.
Okay, fair. So I brought Ronnie to the vet me and Mike bring Ronnie to the vet for his last round of shots.
Okay.
Right? So we've been to the vet. You have to go every 3 weeks in the beginning because they get their shots. They're all spaced apart. Blah, blah, blah. And you can ask them any questions. It's nice, especially new dog owner, don't know what's normal, what's not normal, asking those things.
I get it.
The vet we had the first couple times, very nice woman, gives some tips about how much to feed him and foods you should avoid. And he has he has a little bit of a heart murmur that we knew about when we got him. And they check it every time. And basically they're just monitoring it, but it's very low level.
Okay.
It's supposedly not that uncommon.
Not uncommon at all. My Stoli, the supermodel.
Yeah.
My family dog, heart murmur. That's very Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. That's a big thing
for them.
Yeah.
So Ronnie had one too.
Did he swallow his own shit like me?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
He will eat everything but his own shit.
I guess that's where Ronnie and I differ.
Yeah. He's classier than you.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
He did look classy. I saw that top hat on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we bring him. So this time we go in on Saturdays. This time there's a new man doctor.
The weekend vet.
Yeah. This guy is it was very funny. He's he felt like he was someone from The Sopranos.
So he was an Italian.
He was had a very Italian name. He was kind of a bigger Italian guy with an accent.
Someone, I guess, unexpected Like vet, you expect like Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
You don't expect like funny money boom bah.
Right, basically like that. And he's talking.
Hey, let me see this pooch.
Yeah, he's basically talking about the dog like that.
Hey, your dog's got some cancer. Like I can't imagine him giving horrific.
But
hey, Rufus is gonna go to doggy heaven.
Basically,
better eat some gabagoo while he's still in town.
He sounds just like that. So he immediately starts like, kind of just like I thought, like horrible bedside manner. Just being like, he was like, the dog, I guess, has like, Ronnie has a little bit of dandruff. Because like he's growing in his new coat and it's like, that's apparently a thing. It's just a tiny bit. So he starts talking about the dandruff and then he starts talking about like he also has some diarrhea every now and then because he's getting exposed.
Hey, your dog's a mess. Hey, Ronnie, you trying to fuck?
And he's already
with this dandruff.
He's already going into like all of this stuff. And then this is where I was getting like really irritated.
Hold on. So you go meet with this doctor. He doesn't like present as doctor. You meet with this vet. He doesn't present as vet. He's kind of speaking flippantly. Is that
he's
kind of
speaking kind of like flippantly?
Loose?
He's being like a little harsh. He's being like he's like quick to be like, he's like, oh, you haven't taken him to the cardiologist yet? Like, is it a murmur?
So
or whatever.
It's a little judgy of you. You felt judged.
Seemingly,
okay.
yeah. Or like, what are you feeding him? Like, oh wow, you're giving him like way too much stuff.
Right.
Blah blah blah.
Yo, too much galamad.
Apples or whatever the fuck it is, or like, I'm trying to give him some spice in life. I don't want him to just eat dog food all day.
Right.
But he has a sensitive stomach. Okay.
And
so I'm
you're
like
finding
open.
This out.
I'm open to feedback if given the right way.
Right.
And then
who gave him fresh motts?
This is the part where I get really irritated. So he's doing the physical exam and then he's like checking Ronnie's balls, right? So he's like, the nurse or the assistant is like holding him and then he's like touching all his balls and he goes, he's got really small balls.
Whoa.
He goes, I only feel one and the balls are really small. And I'm like, well, he's going to get neutered. So the balls are going to like, so.
Doesn't matter.
He's like
chopping those shits off anyways.
He just starts talking shit. And I'm like, shut the fuck up about my dog's balls. Like, they're perfect. Shut up. And I'm like seething. And Mike's like, shh.
Right. Shh. Why does it matter to tell you?
That's what I said. Yeah. He's like, well, if the balls are too big, then they could get like a cancerous or some sort of infection. I'm like, but they're not. You just said they're too small.
Right. I guess we don't have that issue then.
Right. So then what?
With
are
our dog and his tiny balls.
Yeah. And then he goes like, he goes like, he's got these issues. Like it could be just like the dog has like a lot of genetic issues, or like he might just be like, it might be genetically abnormal or something because he's got this and the dandruff and the diarrhea or whatever like that.
He's adding it up.
Yeah. I was like, well, I got him from a breeder, so I would suspect that there's some control over the genetic issues. And he goes, well, my younger son has to see all these doctors, so like it could still be a genetic issue even with like good breeding. And I'm like, that's a weird comment.
Right. Basically saying that he's good DNA.
Good breeding.
Him and his wife produced something a little off.
Right.
So it could happen to this dog.
It could happen to Ronnie with his perfect breeding. And then I've decided to just like
Long Island.
Keep my mouth shut. And then like finally we get in the car and I go, I'm not gonna let I'm not gonna let Tony Soprano talk shit about my dog's balls. They're perfect. I'm done with this. I don't believe like any of the shit that he's saying.
Love it. I like that you stood up for Ronnie's balls.
He's being like felt up and being told that his balls are too small, which seemingly has absolutely no like.
It doesn't matter at all.
He's a fucking dog. Like,
right.
It's not like he's like an actual like.
Did you feel like the vet was trying to like have one on you?
I think maybe like he's trying to show me how much he knows, or like, and I just felt like it was like trying to scare me, or like trying to like.
Into what? Buying like prosthetic balls for your dog?
Getting multiple tests done, and like he's like, and they tested the poop, but like there could be other things in the poop that like they didn't see right off the bat. That's not conclusive. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Like shoot the dog? Like what the fuck are you like? What is the
what's the end game here?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And I just left feeling like all like anxious. And then for the rest of the day, I just kept telling Ronnie that he has big, beautiful balls and he should not listen to anyone talking shit about him.
With your big balls, who's got a big testicle?
Right? Don't you think that's mean?
I don't like what he was doing, which is these like kind of off-center downing things that like have no bearing on his life. Like these do have bearing on your life.
Right.
Like,
And they're
you
like
got to live with this small bald dog.
And why say the dog is like must have like genetic issues because there's all this shit that's wrong with him when he's like a happy, active, normal dog.
Right. And if there's nothing we can do, we're not giving it back.
Right.
I don't
what's the end game?
Right. I don't like when someone makes a comment like that with no help, no thoughts, no creativity. Right. It's just
or no like
negativity
delivery
for the sake of being negative.
Right.
And also negative towards you. It's almost like he must be a miserable dude.
Also, I've done basis of comparison. I've been here 2 times before, and I had someone else that I was dealing with seemingly with the same issues.
You felt good when you left.
I felt empowered
right.
when I left.
It's something that, can people sap can people drain your positivity? Mm-hmm. And if we want to relate it to this podcast, as we make a lot of jokes about,
balls,
Vinny Gabagooch.
Vinny Gabagool, the vet. Yeah.
Vinny, and he your snake's got no length.
Where's the balls? I can't even feel them. I feel one. I think there's one. It's so small. I think there's one. I'm like,
and I felt some big balls.
I want to be like,
that's why they call me big ball veterinarian.
I want to be like, unhand him. Like, let him go. Oh my God.
Stop fondling his balls. Get your hands off my dog's balls.
Poor Ronnie.
I gotta meet Ronnie.
And Ronnie's such a you have to come out. You're gonna go in the pool. You'll meet Ronnie. He's such a good sport. Soon as he gets there, every time they put a thermometer right in his butt.
Shoot it up his asshole.
He takes it like a complete champion.
Well, he's probably like me. He likes it a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the production just almost they almost Ronnied their pants.
Not safe for work. Yeah.
Yeah, this episode we've gone off the rails.
Sorry.
Pretty quick. No,
anyway, that was my irritating story. From
I
the
think
weekend.
someone like it's funny. You have like the test study. You have like 2 doctors or 2 vets to compare to each other. You go to one vet. Oh, I feel good. I feel like I have a great dog, and we got something accomplished. You go to another vet. Same type of appointment. Wow. Why do I feel bad about myself? Why do I feel like I've been drained?
Here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it says something about like all our relationships. You go on a date. Why did I feel bad after that date? Why did I feel good after that date? These are all real things. And positivity and the way you speak to people do matter. Like I always get accused of being sensitive. Like if I went to this vet and told my family, like, you won't believe they're talking shit about my dog's balls. They'd be like, "Oh, Jared, you're so sensitive. You're offended. And I'm like, no. I'm just noticing. I'm just
I'm
like,
not asking you to like call the vet and complain about him.
Right. I don't want anything done to like, to fucking Vito Corleone veterinarian. But I do want it to be acknowledged. Like it rained just now, right? Like I just
validated. You want to validate it.
A little bit validated, and I validate you if especially. You saw one vet and you saw the other. I mean, if you were to like, I'm sure all these vets have like Yelps. You can like review a vet, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
I would love to read his reviews. Like I would be actually curious to see if, Yeah,
I didn't even think of that. I should go check it out.
Well, listen, we had a great episode. I'm happy Ronnie's well and getting his vaccine. What are we talking about today? Do we have we got a show?
Yeah, we got a show.
Oh, I had something I wanted to talk about.
Let's hear it.
But let's get into the episode. I feel like
Is it going to come up throughout the episode?
Is it?
What's
difficult?
the topic?
Is it more difficult to get a reservation these days? Just in general?
General? I think so.
Like it just
then
feels...
like compared to when? Like
I tried to go
last year?
Yeah, or like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I went on a date last night and I was trying to get a reservation. And
it's those West Village girlies.
Taking up all the reservations.
That was in the article.
Well, they get like 50 at a time.
That was in the article that they were like,
oh, really?
You can't get a reservation anymore.
All these men can't make a plan, can't make a date. And then like, I make a date. Where should we go? Oh, how about this neighborhood that works for both of us? Then I go on Resi and there's nothing. And I keep thinking of this one woman who's like 2 years into her relationship that every Monday she wakes up and like gets 30 reservations and then brags about it.
Men do that. Not a woman thing. Yes, I've seen it. We talked about this on this podcast. I've seen many men, they take up all the reservations and then they ask whoever they happen to be going on a date with.
Okay, so let's find
It's not just the women.
It's not just the women. So let's name the group. Is it relationship people? Like if you're in a relationship, get away from the reservation.
No, it's just, I'm saying, I think it's relationship women and single men.
You think single men? I told you. Did I tell you about the date I went to?
But if you were cared more about these dates, you might go on when they open and then just make a bunch and then it'll be like, oh, whoever I happen to be going out with, I'll take them there.
I think that is a douchey. I can't disagree with the move more. I actually sat next to a guy. I was on a date.
So you went on a dinner date?
Oh yeah.
What number date was it?
Few.
You don't count. You don't.
I don't count. I don't. I don't want to put a number on that.
Nobody's business.
Yeah. On
what's
this
your number?
dating podcast. We had a great. I had a great time.
Totally. Yeah.
All right, let's do an email.
All
You
right.
ready? Oh, I'm on the road. If you're out there and you're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Huntsville, Alabama, London, foggy London town, Stamford, New Haven. Let's see if I've memorized it so far. JaredFree.com, tons of cities, tons of dates. You got to go buy those tickets. Go get them now, JaredFree.com. Assemble the group chat. I got a whole new hour from the Family Business Store. We're about to get that back from post-production.
Amazing.
So hopefully we're
ready to
we got
go.
a special that will be coming out, and then I'll have new material. I think we're calling it Table for One Tour or A Man Alone Abroad Tour.
I get feedback on these names in the next episode.
Yeah, you really turned me off to these names. Let's do an email. What are we talking about?
Let's do it. Okay, I'll read the first one.
Please do.
Dear J&J, all the flowers, you've made me a better dater.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Let's dive right in. I am friends with an engaged lesbian couple. Are you okay?
I'm gonna make it.
Do you need a minute?
I'm good.
Okay. Recently, one half of the couple, let's call her Eliza, told me over a private dinner that she feels like she needs a man. And later that night, she told me that she slept with a man. She has not told her partner, let's call her Samantha. I have told Eliza that I think she needs to either tell her if she wants to stay in the relationship or break up with Samantha. I thought we were talking about her recent move out of state and hours away. I never expected that she would have told me. It's been weeks and Eliza still hasn't talked to Samantha about what happened and they are still together. I wish I didn't have this information. I feel gross talking to Samantha like I don't know, especially because Eliza isn't even here. I don't feel it's my business to say anything, but I also feel now like an accomplice in helping Eliza cover it up. I don't want to lie to Samantha, but I really don't think this should come from me since it's not my relationship. What should I do? What would you do if you knew a partner cheated but is staying in the relationship and getting supported by the other partner? Especially because Eliza said she thinks she needs to be with a man and no amount of couple work or therapy will change Samantha into that. Sincerely, a betch who just thought she was having a dinner.
How do you feel about this one?
This is an interesting one.
Have you ever been told about a friend cheating and then felt like you were now brought into... You were now turned into an accomplice when you never really wanted to be one?
I have. Have you? I wasn't like equally friends with both people. I'm not sure if that's kind of what she's saying here.
Right.
Though.
You don't know.
Yeah. I've never been told with a couple that I've been just as close with the other person in the relationship.
But you have been told where you're the close friend
Yes.
of one side of the couple, and then you have that information.
Yes.
And were you happy you were told? Were you mad you were told?
I wasn't mad. Here's the thing. I think like if I was told in a sense of like, I did this thing, I deeply regret it. Here's why I did it. I'm feeling really this way about my relationship. Right. And I think that person is like not telling me just to like let me in on like the scoop, but like to actually gain advice and to gain like wisdom and perspective and like.
And to be cared for a little bit.
Yes. To be, by a friend who again is not involved in the relationship.
Right.
Did it make me uncomfortable? A little bit. Did I say anything? No, because I don't think that was my role in that. I encouraged the friend not necessarily to say something, but to work through the issues in her relationship where this seemingly wasn't effective.
Right. And because I'm the same way. Well, I guess am I now living a lie amongst these people is kind of like, this person believes that their life has been impacted. And again, I do think you're right. It matters how close you are with each party.
Yes.
Like if you're close with one party and then they confide in you, I think you can get past it for the party that you're closest with to get better on the other side of that.
Right.
Whether they do or not, that's a different story.
And how was the confiding done? Like this seems like it was done in like a weird, little sloppy, like just blabbed and then moved on kind
Right.
of way, not like with like a thought in a thoughtful way.
This is something I can kind of like give perspective on as a guy. Like, this is a woman dealing with a lesbian couple. Like,
Have you ever been told by anyone?
no, I'm
man
thinking I
or
haven't.
woman?
I've like made out with a married woman before.
Knowingly?
No, and then yes.
Did you tell her husband?
No. It wasn't something I pursued. You know, it kind of just happened, and it wasn't something that like I tried, you know,
Right.
like I wasn't like waiting in the wings, you know, trying to like mess up someone's life, you know. And then you find out and you go, okay, let me think about what's going on here. You know, you feel badly, but you're like, you got some shit to take care of. Like, you know, like that would be more my feeling. I do think she's remembering details. Like a lot of women get like, they remember everything. You guys remember everything, every detail. But the one detail she's remembering like doesn't matter. It's like a way of like trying to get you to like be on her side more.
Which in
The
which
part
way
of
do
her
you mean
email
here?
where she says, I think I need the touch of a man. Then,
Well, it sounds like she said that and then she got drunker and then she said, well, I've actually already.
Well, it sounds like she
yeah.
was like, you know, softening the blow.
Right.
It sounds like she was getting ahead of this. Wasn't thoughtless.
Yeah.
So I do think this idea that like, well, like no couples therapy could help if someone wants a man. I don't know if that's an important part for you to decipher.
Right.
The important part is like, hey, you've made my relationships harder. I have relationships with both of you, and I don't know how I can hang out with both of you having to lie. I don't like to lie.
Yeah.
You know, like you might be able to get over this hump of like she slept with someone.
Right. And it sounds
So
like she's thinking about her
she's-
sexuality or the relationship.
The
Sure.
sexuality doesn't even matter. It's just like this. I go back to like the love is love thing. Like whatever.
Okay, sure.
These are just two people
Fine.
that cheated on each other, and you've made me have to lie to someone. That's the.
So what does she do with that? Did she give her an ultimatum?
If I were her, I was thinking like, what would I do? I'm not
What would you do? Yeah. If it was, let's say it was your male friend.
cheated on his boyfriend or wife.
Sure.
I would say I'd go back and I'm friends with the other person. My second time talking to them would be, what's the plan here? It'd be pretty vague. It'd be pretty
Right.
open. What's your plan?
Let's play that. Let's talk that out. I'm figuring it out.
Well, does that include getting therapy, telling him? What is that? What does figuring it out mean?
I don't know. I don't really know what to do.
I mean,
What do you think I should do?
Do you plan on staying in this relationship?
Yeah, I deeply regret what I did. I'm not going to do it again.
Okay, well, I don't care that you cheated,
Okay.
but I care about me.
Okay.
Like this person's being selfless, but also it's about them.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to speak in the way I would speak for
Okay,
them.
so what
or
do you want
for
from
myself?
me?
I go, hey,
What do you
so
want
what
from
do
me?
I do now?
So what do you want from me?
I want you to tell me how I have to keep this lie going with your husband or wife. Like, I want you to like kind of like
You just don't say anything.
don't say anything. So the funny part is, this is the conversation I would
Yeah.
have with a friend. We'd be
Yeah.
laughing about it.
Yeah.
We'd be making jokes. I'd be
Like,
like,
what would you like? That's what I'm saying. How does it end? Are you like, well, if you don't tell her, I
again,
will.
right.
Like, you're not gonna say that.
like I'm thinking like
You could
because
say,
I'm
sorry.
with you,
I could say like, I'm sorry I put you in that position, but like, it's what's done is done.
right? And if I were on your side of things, if I was the cheater, I'd be like, stop being a piece of shit. You're my friend.
Right.
I need you to fucking lie to me. You know, like, just shut the fuck up. I made a mistake. Like, lay off me. Like,
Right.
that's probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be like, I think you could say like, I really don't want, if you're like, if this is something that you're doing, I don't really like want any part in it. I don't really want to like hear about it. It makes me really uncomfortable. But I don't think like you can get them to like do anything really. All you can control is how you're involved in it.
Right. Well, to go back, I don't want to like keep breaking this up. Like, I feel badly about like you make out with a married woman. Like, I remember like I didn't know, and then I knew, and then it was like they found their way of rationalizing this whole thing, and I'm
Right.
just sitting there like, well, hold on. Like, just because you're okay with it doesn't mean I'm okay. You know, like
Right.
I kind of, this is how murder happens.
Well,
you
then
know,
I'm saying, like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna be like, I'm gonna tell him. You tell him, either you tell him or I do. Like, you're not gonna say that.
No,
so,
that's
like,
not how. Again, like this podcast, like that. What I love about what we do here is like
you would just be like, you would just not do it again.
This is an
Right.
uncomfortable truth. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but like this is how friends would talk.
Right.
You know, like, hey, so I just sit here with this shit? Like, I just lie to your husband or for the rest of their life?
I mean, what do you want me to do?
I don't want you to do anything. You know, like, right. If it came back to me as the friend, I'd be like, I don't want to.
I could say, I'm sorry, but like, what do you want me to do now?
The biggest mistake you can make as a friend is to push a friend into doing something where then you have to be their caretaker. Like, I would even be like, I'm not going to tell you to be single again, because then you're going to be like, I'm not the one to push you to single. I'm not the one to push you into your marriage more. I'm not the one to push you towards anything. I'm here to like care for you.
Right. So what do you want? So what do you want from me?
I want you to like, are you going to cheat again? Like, do you think this is like in your plan? Like, I would talk it out more with them. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying if they were like, I regret this, like I
okay, so whatever, from here on out, you're in a committed relationship? Is that what, 0 days since our last accident? Are we turning the page?
I am, and if I'm not, I'm not telling you. I mean,
right. I wouldn't care, but I would be like,
but you would care because you don't want to know.
I would care because I would think that my friend and I became less close. You know, like if they were like not comfortable coming to me again, but also they have to understand like, yeah, you put me in a tough position.
Yeah, so I'm saying they would have to be apologetic about that.
Right. I need an apology. Like, yeah, I told you the other night, but I'm like going to keep on keeping on with this thing. And again, like that's kind of what friends are for. Like, you know, some people would consider this podcast their friend in the dating world. Like, we're not here to like tell you what to do. Like, we're here to like make you feel seen, make you feel comforted that like
state your own standards. Right.
Right. And like give you direction. But like when people write into us and tell us what we told them, we go, well, we didn't say it that way.
Right. That's what you heard.
Right.
That's what I said. And then there's what you heard.
Right. So like this friend that's writing into us, like there's nothing you can do. You know, like
besides find one trusted person that you can tell everything to.
Right. Or you become less of a friend with them because they're not really treating your friendship with like the type of care that
for sure. And you can judge them. Like you can judge anyone you want. Right. Or anything.
Right. Like, listen, they can go back and be like, yep, when this ends, you can go, I knew it. That's the fun you get, but tough one.
Yeah.
Because there's not really advice. It's like, I mean, if they went and told the husband or the wife, what do you think? Would you ever advise this person go tell the wife? Advise
them to tell them.
Yeah.
I think I would ask, like, I think it would depend on like, ultimately, what are they looking for? Are they looking for resolution?
I want to be happy.
Okay. I would suggest couples there. I would like voice the responsibility onto another party. I would say like
a professional.
Yeah. I would say, I think you guys should go to couples therapy and like, you should probably be really honest with each other, but I get that's a really hard thing to do. Maybe you should go to a place that feels like a safe space with a third party person who's like licensed and a professional to like, you know, come clean, and maybe your marriage are they married, this couple? And maybe your marriage will be stronger after it.
I think that's the move. And you're not really foisting them onto someone else. You're basically encouraging professional help.
Yeah, I'm not saying stay together or break up. Like, work it out in the setting.
If you don't go to therapy, I can't really have this conversation with you the rest of your life. My fear is that we're going to have these secret conversations forever, and I'm going to have to lie to my other friend.
Yeah.
And you're going to like use me as your therapist. And I just want to let you know, I'm not a therapist and you need one.
Yeah. I agree. And even if you're not that good friends with their friend, you can still say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a petty or prudent. We love a petty or prudent. Basically, a breakup happens, and your reaction after the breakup.
Yes.
Was it petty? Was it prudent?
This is a good one.
This one's fantastic. Benefit subscriber here. Love the pod. I'm always sharing your takes and advice with my friends. How about you share the podcast? First time writing in. So, my husband and I are getting divorced. I'm sorry. What sparked it? A friend of mine recognized him on one of those chaotic "Are we dating the same guy?" Facebook groups. How about
that? They caught one.
They got a live one. Got him. Turns out he was not only dating online, but also talking to someone we both know. Someone way younger.
Tale as old as time.
Right. I love that she's got to like add that in. Not our first round of drama, so I didn't waste time. I filed for divorce.
I would love to know the expansion on that line. Not our first round of drama.
Well, that's the thing where someone goes, see, the Facebook, "Are we dating the same guy?" Facebook groups are good. It's like, I don't think we're finding new.
Right.
Like, there's no new news here.
Right. If you already know they're a piece of shit, usually.
Right. I've always been the financially stable one, and we all know divorce isn't cheap. The younger girl already blocked me on social media, LOL, but forgot about Venmo.
They always forget about Venmo. They always forget.
So then...
Did that sound crazy? Do I sound crazy?
Yes, you do. So tell me, petty or prudent, would you send your soon-to-be ex's side piece a Venmo request to help cover the cost of your divorce? Signed, an older bitch still trying to solve dating. Thanks for helping me try.
All right. So you want to read the Venmo request?
So she did request.
Yes.
So
$400.
she requested. So it says, Katie declined your request for $400. And the message was, since you had so much to do with my divorce, maybe you should help pay for it. Hashtag home wrecking bitch, 2 middle finger emojis.
Okay.
What do you think? Is this petty or prudent? Requesting $400.
I think that's petty.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she hashtags home wrecking bitch. I understand the desire, but really, like, the fault lies with the husband.
Right.
First of all, a divorce, I would imagine, is much more expensive than $400. Number seems a little arbitrary.
In your town.
Probably. Can you get a divorce for $400?
No,
I don't think
this is
so.
crazy. Yeah.
And then I just think I think this is misdirected anger.
Right.
Obviously, like, it's not nice to be sleeping with someone else's husband, but we have no context on what he's told her, on how this came about.
If she knew the things he told her, she'd get even angrier. Like, we have a loveless marriage.
Right.
All the details he used to get her to fuck him,
right,
would make him even worse to her. So yeah, I'm with you. This is like when you talk about like women tearing down women. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, yeah, she like is not to blame.
She could have been in the married woman situation. Imagine if you got Venmo'd by someone's husband.
Right. I would be heartbroken, and I would also be like...
You'd also decline.
Decline? Yeah, fuck yeah, get out of here.
And the girl's doing everything she should do. She blocked her on all the social media, and she's not trying to get involved in it.
Right. And the guy's on a Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group. Like, he's out there lying.
Right. Who posted him? The mistress?
Maybe.
Like, who posted him?
Right. Yeah. If anything... She helped you.
Right.
So this is petty. I'm with you. You're taking it up with the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're home wrecking. Like, she says you have other issues. This is not our first round of drama.
Right.
Like, it wasn't
I get she wants someone to, like, take it out on,
right.
And maybe, like, the husband is not doing it for her, or is not responding, or is not, like, and she's kind of, and I would totally understand the urge to be, like, lashing out at anyone in the vicinity that feels like they're a part of this. Right. But like the fault is really with him or with your marriage or like whatever, that she doesn't really have to do with that. And she could have been, and honestly, especially again, she says this was like, you've had other drama. If it wasn't this person, it would have been someone else. Right. And here's the other problem. And you already brought this up, but I want to make sure we get this clear. You asked for too little money. Yes. Because $400 makes you and your relationship kind of sound cheap. If you would ask for, $40,000, $40,000, right, would be... That'd probably cover it. What you ask for is kind of who you are. You're a $400 bitch. Petty $400 bitch. Right. That's a great merch. Petty $400 bitch. You cheaped yourself. You made yourself... So you're kind of like the joke. Right. In this. Like him who cheated on you. What if she paid it? Would you guys be even? Right. Would you probably be even more angry? Honestly, if this happened to me and I charged $40,000 to someone and they paid it, I would be like, all right, forgiven. Ta-ta. Yeah. How about 400? 400, no. For it to be prudent, right. Do the full amount. If you get paid the full amount, you have to go away. Right. And don't make yourself look cheap. You made it. Be classier than that. Yeah, come on. You're worth more, baby girl. Let's do another email. Okay. uup@betches.com. That's our email. You can send in anything you'd like. We'd love your dating questions, relationship, marriage, divorce, honeymoon, anything you want. We'll take it all. Hello. Long-time listener and subscriber. Thank you for constantly being the dating voice of reason in my head, loving the U Up pod, being part of my daily routine. Thank you.
I'm a 28-year-old female and I'm dating with intention after a long history of dating and learning the hard way. Wish I had had this pod in my early 20s.
Let's unpack that for 1 second. Do you think when someone says I'm dating with intention, what do you think that means?
When I hear it on the guy's side, I hear, please don't hurt me. Like, I don't really hear I'm this strong person. I don't think you're any, I think.
You're saying when you hear it from a woman on the guy's side.
Yeah.
Not like when you hear it from a guy.
When I hear it from a guy, I think he's saying things he's heard women say and trying to make them feel safer.
Okay.
Which is also a lie in itself. And when I hear it from a woman's side, I hear, I've been through a lot of shit and I'm looking for a real relationship. And this is my way of telling you without sounding like I need a relationship in 2 minutes.
Okay.
You know?
Do you dislike that?
There's no dislike. It's more like,
do you note
something it's noted.
Okay.
It's already something I assumed that you were here for, looking for a relationship. Right. You're looking for the real one.
But you're just in case that wasn't clear, they're being pretty explicit about it.
Right. This is them saying this isn't going to be casual, probably.
Right. I'm not casual. I can't handle casual.
I can't handle casual. I could be lured into casual, and please don't do that to me.
Right. I think that's nice then.
Yeah, it's like I had someone recently where
it's someone telling you they're gluten intolerant.
Right. Don't order the bread.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I had someone say something along the lines of like similar to this recently, and then, you know, we ended up. I think I brought this up already. We can cut this. I kind of mentioned on the Maria episode. Where like I was on a date with a girl and she kind of said this whole intention thing, but she gave like an intention speech of like, I'm tired of like hooking up and I got this whole speech. Right. And then by the end of it, I was like, and then we ended up, I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna mess with this person.
Right. I don't want to, it might be like too risky.
It's not even risk. It's more just like, you've said it. So, and then,
and you're not sure.
And I'm not sure. Right. So I'm not gonna go forward being unsure. And then
the stakes are higher.
The stakes are higher, and because you've gone through this already, you've told me, you confided in me, which meant that you think that I am someone who won't do this to you.
Right. Wrong.
I will have given the opportunity.
No, well, it's not beyond.
It's not beyond me. Yeah. Like, and then I got a text like, "Hey, if you're just looking to hang from the same person," and I was like, I have to kind of like, no. Right. As much as I would love to.
Now you know why, they're trying to date with intention, because that's not
within what they know how to do.
Yeah, that's why they have to say it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the intention thing, like, and especially from a 28-year-old who's like, I wish you had this pod in my early 20s. Do you? Like, you only know what you want now because of dating what you didn't want in your early 20s. That has a shelf life. You don't want to be learning,
No regrets.
Right, but I can understand. We talked about this we're going to have a long discussion about this on Friday. But, you don't want to be a forever student in dating.
Right.
Like, there's got to be a point where you're like, I just want to graduate.
Totally, yeah.
Into the next thing.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of like grad students in higher education of dating that are like, where are all these other men, that are, that's why we have like a lot of women that are kind of like fed up later in life and being like, well, none of these men have been working on it or seem to have found any lessons from the things that happen in their 20s, where I'm looking for lessons and learning and dating with intention. Right. And so there's a correlation between person who never got a job because they just kept going to school and dating forever and keep learning lessons, but never getting to like
being
put
able
them in
to use
action.
them. Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
Okay. I recently started dating this guy. Let's call him Z. And this man, oh Lord, this man is the man of my dreams.
Oh, wow.
Caring, considerate, funny as hell. Really? Genuine and honest. He always makes me feel so safe and excited, and all my friends love him, and they can be tough to please. Z and I have been going strong for a couple months now.
What could go wrong?
Nothing. Why are you even writing to us? To tell us you're engaged? Although this sounds like a fairy tale, I am stumped with how to proceed because of one issue. He has a very small penis. Can't relate. Strong medium. It's been saying it for years.
Yes, okay.
Just making sure. Okay. I like to do my monthly reminder.
Reminder, just in case.
Yes. I feel awful even having this be something my mind is stuck on. And our sexual chemistry is great. Foreplay is great. And I'm extremely attracted to him. But as someone dating with intention, I get cold feet about progressing in this relationship when I think about this being the penis I have to work with for the rest of my life. It just isn't doing it for me. Oy, that hurts more than small penis. As a guy with a strong medium penis, that's the toughest line.
That's tough.
Truly, everything is phenomenal and better than I could ever ask for or expect for someone with a small issue. This man is seriously a diamond in the rough, and I'm truly looking for your honest advice on what to do. I don't want to stop dating him, but I also don't think I can continue dating him with having these thoughts every time we get intimate. I know it's fully out of his control, and I hate that this is where my mind is at. And I wouldn't dare bring this to brunch table for fear that they would look at him differently. So I'm turning to Father Time and the Queen of Dating for what to do. Father Time. Have we given ourselves that
Father
nickname?
Time?
Father Time.
You're Father Time. I'm the Queen of Dating.
Yeah, wow.
I got the better one.
Yeah, you got a great one.
Old as shit.
I'm old man penis. Old man medium. Sincerely, a same penis forever bitch.
Okay.
I love this email,
Good email
because it's so human. It's so honest.
Yeah. The man of her dreams.
Everything right.
Yes. No, I want to clarify.
Foreplay.
She's not saying it's a micro penis. She's saying it's a small penis.
I think she would have said it's a micro penis
I agree.
had it been one.
That would have added, I think, a more color to
It's
the situation.
small enough to shock her into writing an email to us.
Okay.
So I do think it's got to be smaller than I'm even thinking.
It's all relative, right?
Right. I mean, listen, I am not this big swinging dick man.
You're right. You keep saying
I am
medium, strong,
average
medium.
at best. Like if I was to get descriptive about my penis, I could go on. It is, no. Do an hour describing my penis.
Okay. That's a bonus episode.
But right. We'll leave that to the subscribers, the paying
Yes.
customers. What do you think about this? Have you been with a small penis man?
Not one where I've been like fixated. Nothing so small that I have been concerned.
Right. Ah!
Here's what I'm
nothing.
saying. And again, I'm prefacing it with I don't think I've dealt with this.
Right.
Again, size is relative. I don't know what one person's small might be another person's medium.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't dump someone for this. He's perfect in every way. I would not end the relationship.
She said something. The answer sometimes in the email, and there's something that really spoke to me.
Mm-hmm. Besides, it's not doing it for me.
Besides, it's not. Well, that really hit. Like, there's things that I feel as a man that like I do think are teachable for like the female listeners.
Okay.
Like when I hear something and go, ooh.
What's a better way of phrasing that? I wouldn't think of that was offensive. That offensive.
It's way more offensive than small penis because here's the thing: short guy. Like it's like when a short guy. Why would he lie about his height? Well, I'm me. You know, I'm funny. I'm
right. It's like
good
you're
with
not
words.
doing it for me.
Right. Like for her to say, like he's like this guy probably knows he has a small penis. Like or, which is
Well,
like
if you had a small penis, how would you be upfront about it?
Here's my.
Would you acknowledge it?
This is kind of part of what she wrote in the email. Mm-hmm. She said, but I also don't think I can continue dating him with having these thoughts every time we get intimate. For her, she's talking about the foreplay being great. They have physical intimacy.
It's the elephant in the room.
Right. It's to
Mouse.
her. Right. It's the carrot. It's the baby carrot
baby
in the room.
carrot in the room, yeah.
You know, and I think it's more that she has it on her mind and she feels as though while being intimate with him, she's lying to him.
She has to like pretend
right.
that she likes
that
the
it's so huge because he's not. And I was wondering.
You can't do that. You can't. I would say you can't call it something that it's obviously not.
But that's what I think that's what's making her have pause.
That she feels like she needs to do that?
Well, that she feels like just even dealing with this small-cocked loser at all.
If you had a small penis, how do you
Which
think...
I don't.
Which you don't. Which you don't. Okay. Doth protest. Hypothetically speaking, if you had a small penis, how would you date with it?
This is kind of, I'm wondering if this would help her. Again, she says, and I only base this on the email. If we got an email that was like, this small dick, I'm so turned off. I'd be like, get out of here. He's not that great anyways. He's kind of like, you know, he's not really for me. This is like, he's perfect in every way.
It's your classic red flag or deal breaker.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's this small penis. And the way she described it was like, it felt like she was engaging in a lie, the way she wrote it.
Okay.
So I was wondering if him acknowledging him having a small penis would help this. Like, if he was like,
do you think you would do that if you had the small penis?
It's tough because I'm self-deprecating.
You don't want to bring attention to something that someone might not even think it's small.
Right. I went on a date recently. I'll say this, okay, because Dumois may have reported on it.
Okay.
With a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Which one? I'm just kidding.
Brooks Nader.
Okay.
We went on a date.
Sounds familiar.
I'm only bringing it. You would know her. She's like got a big following. I only bring it up. It got taped for her show.
Oh, cool.
So we went on a date. On it, I made a bunch of jokes about me being on a date with a swimsuit model, as anyone who listens to the show would know I would do.
Okay.
Like that I'm like, I start being like, I made like a comment about how I'm shaped like a tissue box.
Okay.
And she was like, she kind of went in the direction. I'm like just going for laughs. And at one point she's like, oh, you're like hard on yourself. Like, and I'm like, oh, she really does think I'm disgusting. You know, like, you know, like if you laugh at it, you go, yeah, but I think you're awesome. You know,
right.
Like if you go, oh, no, it's like.
Well, she's not sure maybe like how
maybe in the context.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of how this might be edited. That's part of the reason I'm bringing it up right now. But this is like, I do think I couldn't be me.
You as Jared
Fried on a date with a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model without me, in my mind, I wouldn't feel comfortable there without acknowledging that I am not someone I would assume a Sports Illustrated model would date. And to me, that's what makes us get together. That's me having awareness. And
but men are told constantly, like, women are attracted to confidence. If you're confident, no matter what you look like, you could look like a shoe, you're going to be fine.
This is my zig while they zag, but this is me showing confidence in, I don't care that I'm still here.
Right.
You know, I'm still here, tissue box and all. I'm here, boxy Jared, hanging. But I'm calling it out, like.
Yeah, if you're doing it in a fun way.
I'm trying to think if that would work for this guy with the penis, where she would go, he's like, listen, I'm going to go down on you for hours because a little pee-pee ain't going to get the job done. Let me make sure I fix you up. You know, like that would be fun. That would be acknowledgement. Yeah. I don't know if that would help. I'm kind of like brainstorming out loud.
Can I ask, have you ever gone out with a flat-chested woman?
Yeah, I've been out with a flat-chested woman.
Is there acknowledgement in that department?
Sometimes. I've been on dates where women talk about their curviness.
Yeah. That's another good one.
Like, but I like a curvy woman.
That's also more subjective. I think with a penis, it's generally seen as like bigger.
Right. There's no like, I'm not going to say there's
There's less of a small penis enthusiast community.
Right.
As opposed to like curves or bigger breasts.
Right. I'm trying to, or
even smaller breasts. Some guys, I guess, do like smaller breasts.
There's guys who like smaller breasts. Yeah. I would say the penis, I'm trying to think, what is the one thing where the bigger it gets, the better we all just assume it is? Is there anything like the penis?
Well, I could say, let's say you had like a gut or something, or like I don't know, is there like a scar or?
Some people think the skinnier you are, the better, but I disagree with that.
I think women think that, but I don't think men think that at all.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. In the efforts of helping this woman, I wonder, the hardest thing in the world for her is it's a giant chance you're taking.
She can't bring it up, I don't think.
Like if you're like, I want to save this because I think I have everything. And this goes back to like we were talking about this. We taped these out of order. I'm sorry to keep bringing up the Friday episode, but we did talk about how a man can be these boxes that are checked. And you're like, I'll work with this list of things that are right. And this is kind of what she's saying.
Yeah.
She's like, he's got all these things checked off. I'm deep in this dating, thing. I've been trying to date with intention. This is the new me. And I'm trying to like work with what I've got. And you're dealing with a guy who's not really thinking that way.
Right.
And he's thinking of like, probably in a nicer way, if you think about it. He's like, I just like this girl. I don't care how big or small her vagina is.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think there's like, what does the penis size matter to the extent of sexual pleasure, right? assuming again, it's like large enough to like procreate down the line.
Right.
Right. So like, what does it matter for? It's about that. And I guess, yeah, objectively, like it's seen as maybe like hotter or more masculine to have a larger penis. But I think if she's being sexually satisfied in other ways, it really shouldn't matter.
Right. But that's why I keep bringing up what she said. Because she's like, it feels like a lie by omission. She kind of feels like she's not saying something. To say in this email, I don't think I can continue dating him with having these thoughts every time we get intimate. Like she's going, and I think I've had this in my own life, just not with a penis, where I've had the... You have these thoughts that are intrusive.
Intrusive thoughts, yeah.
Intrusive thoughts that like, where you go...
Do I like the way they look?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we've all had those with someone where it's like, am I attracted?
And you're like with them.
Right.
And you're like, is this how I'm... Again, this is like, you have your moments of narcissism, you have your moments of being a dick, where you're like, what do we look like as a couple? Like, can I be seen with this person? Then you're like, can I date someone I just thought that about?
You don't have to be seen with a penis, though.
But this is like...
How can I bring this penis out in public?
How can I lie to my friends
and
say it? Yeah, I think this is so hard because it's like she's like had these evil thoughts. Mm-hmm. Thoughts she doesn't like. I'm not going to call them evil.
Sure.
She doesn't like that she's thought these things, but she's thought them. And she can't forget that she's thought them. So now she's like getting intimate with this guy and everything's going well. This guy's doing all he can. Him and his little penis just running around her body like an ant on a log, just like doing everything he can.
She said he's the man of my dreams.
Right. She's got it. But I'm saying, how does she get over this? Because I agree with you. I don't think she should dump him.
Not at all. No.
Not at all. But I do think
a
penis must be mentioned.
He's got to say it, though. I don't think she can say it. I think she can ask for what she wants sexually, and then hopefully he will fill in the blanks.
So what does she say? Like, I can't come from penetration I have with other bigger men.
No, I mean, I would leave the second part out.
I know. I'm trying to edit. I'm trying to figure this out for her.
I would say, like, I love when you go down on me.
I love when you go down on me. When we have sex, though, I'm not sure if we're having sex or not.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't say anything negative. I would only talk about the positive things and like let him.
But that would
fill
make
in the
her
blanks.
even more insane. I think.
No,
I think that's part of her issue, is she's lying. And I do think if he at one point, mentioned like, yeah, I got a baby carrot.
Yeah, I agree. It would break the ice.
It would break the ice.
Totally
and I think
agree.
she would actually like fall in love with the baby carrot. Like I think that. Again, that's why I did I only bring up
right.
the
I can
Sports
understand why he
Illustrated
didn't do
thing.
it.
I'm not trying to like...
Maybe he's not a funny guy, though.
He's got to be funnier than this. The funniest thing about him can't be his size of his penis.
Right. No, I agree. If you're a guy with a small penis,
a funny guy.
If you're a guy with a small penis listening, I agree with you. I think you need to make 1 or 2 jokes about it, clear the air, and then ask how you can get someone off sexually.
Right. Especially this far in, like this was like they're.
But I can understand why you'd feel a little ashamed of it. But it's like
totally
I agree. It's like any other baggage. You've got to own it and say what you do to get past it.
But the problem, and then we've also talked about on this podcast, when someone doesn't acknowledge they're holding bags, it's unattractive.
I agree.
So a small penis.
I mean, it's a hard thing to do. I'm sure there's like a lot of like stuff attached to masculinity around that. That's hard to do.
I have always been in favor of a man having a handicap sticker if he had a micro penis.
I don't think they would want one.
That's how hard this is.
Yeah.
I wish you luck. I hope we can figure this out. I don't know. This is so hard. I feel for this guy because
I think you guys can make it work.
I think they can too. I think this will come out at some point. So why not dig in?
Yeah.
And she said again, we go by her email. I don't know.
I think it's almost like, again, I feel like so few women come from like penetrative sex that this is more about.
No, I wouldn't know.
As far as you know. As far as you know.
I agree. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I take their lies.
As far as you think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, lie to me.
That's what I'm saying. I think so few women come from penetrative sex that like it is more almost about the way you own it. And like the fact that he's not owning it, I agree with you, does make it feel like it's more of like an issue that he's ashamed of it.
Right.
Than that it actually exists.
And that becomes more unattractive.
Right.
This is Confidence is owning it.
I don't think the physical size is really that important. It's like the way you use it, as they say.
Motion of the ocean.
Yes.
Float of the boat.
All right.
All those other penis things your grandma says. All right. Let's play some games.
Let's do it. This week's Red Flag or Deal Breaker is sponsored by our friends over at Bailey's. So we're putting a little twist on the segment today since Bailey's is shaking things up with their non-dairy liqueur made with oat milk. We'll read some of your submissions and tell you whether you should opt out or opt out. Same game, new name. If it's quirky but you'd give it a shot, that's an opt out. But if it's a deal breaker, you're hitting opt out.
I gotta say, I'm sitting here with a Bailey's made with oat milk in my hand.
Yum.
An iced coffee.
Perfect pool drink.
Perfect pool drink. The perfect coloring. Just you look at this and it makes you want to have like a day outside on the beach.
This is the appropriate level of milk.
Absolutely. So it's delicious. It's wonderful.
Cheers.
Huge fan. Cheers. Let's play some opt out or opt out.
Hi, J&J. Obsessed with the pod. Thank you for being the voice in my head every week. I've got a quick red flag or deal breaker for you. I've been seeing this guy for about 4 months now. We're both guys. And honestly, he's the full package. Sweet, sincere, dependable, super affectionate, you name it. But he's got a small penis. No, we already did that one. But he's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. Like when we were getting ready one morning, caught each other's reflection in the mirror, and he legit asked if I could see him in it too. I had to walk him through how mirrors work. Then last night, while pouring drinks, he wanted to make sure we had equal amounts, noble, but measured by height in 2 totally different shaped glasses. When I pointed out that one was wider and held more, he panicked and poured from the smaller into the larger, making it worse. He also mixes up your and your, and there, every time he texts, and I'm constantly breaking down idioms or simple stuff like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Think daily tutoring sessions. Fun. It doesn't feel like a deal breaker. If anything, I find it kind of endearing. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't low-key exhausting to have to explain life to someone every day. Curious, what's your take? Red flag or deal breaker? He can be a bit dim-witted at times. Sincerely, your devoted listener.
You are devoted listener.
Yes, with the YOU apostrophe RE, devoted listener.
It's a good email. It's a good red flag deal breaker because
Do you think it's similar to the penis one?
it is a little similar to the penis one.
Right.
Like, I don't mind if someone's like, don't tell me you're smart when you're stupid.
Mm-hmm. Well, is he doing that?
No.
Right.
I don't. Does he have humility? Is kind of like, these mistakes are small. These are, and you can be with someone who mixes up your and you are.
I agree. And you can also teach that pretty easily.
Right.
If it bothered you. And it sounds like the other guy is like open to learning.
Right.
Because she says we do like these little tutoring sessions. And like, if all else was great and Mike kept texting me with the wrong form of your, eventually I would just be like, I've got to tell you something. Like, you got to use the right form of your. It's driving me nuts.
Right. The your is like a symptom to the larger issue. I mean, like,
I agree, but that's like
mirror,
kind of basic.
It's a basic one that you can fix.
The mirror one sounds like a little like kind of just like ditzy almost, like
aloof and ditzy. Yeah. Do you want to spend your life like here's what I would wonder. What is he gaining from this? Is he getting perspective? Do they have nice conversations? Or is it just someone nice that you're hanging out with that you kind of feel like you're above?
Right. He says sweet, sincere, dependable, super affectionate.
Like those things sound like they could be a dog. Yeah. Like that's not. Is this an adult And again, some people don't need more than that type of partnership.
Right. There's definitely someone for him.
Right. This person, sweet and sincere is very nice.
Well, does he want to be challenged?
Right. Yes. Like my description of someone I'm with, I would think would have more depth to it than how I would describe the cat that I've taken in.
But maybe that's your taste.
Again,
right?
Right.
Yeah. Only he can know, I think, what his threshold is.
Like, is this a deal breaker? No, to me. Like, this is opt out.
Opt out.
Opt out because for this guy, you're getting a lot out of this. Like, the breakup has to come for a very different reason. The opt out would come from, I don't feel challenged. The opt out, it comes from, they're aloof and they get things wrong. And it's like, I kind of feel like we have this relationship where I'm the teacher and he's the student. That could work.
Right. So if you're into that, I think that the question is, not like what are the facts that he knows and doesn't know. It's more like, am I stimulated by talking to him sometimes?
Sometimes people are stimulated by the idea of like, I can show you the world.
There's many relationships that work like that.
Yeah. So, and sometimes you're the one teaching and they're the one teaching.
Yeah, maybe he knows some other shit that you don't know.
Right. He might know, things like stupid shit.
Basic. I mean, like, here's the thing. There's certain topics where I have less than basic knowledge of them. Sports, I would say, like sports teams, sport athletes, like things that some people would think of as like everyday common knowledge. I don't know.
Right. This guy knows Blue's Clues and Dora and the colors.
I mean, like, there's like I'm sure you would feel the same way. Like, there's certain, but it's more like, can you carry on a conversation? Are you able to, like, again, be stimulated in some way, or does your dynamic work for you?
Opting out for someone just being nice and sincere, like, I could understand that.
Yeah, it'd be worse if he was pretending he was smart and he wasn't.
Horrible.
I agree. Opt out.
Let's do one last one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dear Jared and Jordana, so excited to finally have a reason to write in. As a weight-struggling 35-year-old Jewish Jersey girl, Jared's content really speaks to me. That's me, a weight-fluctuating Jersey girl.
You're going to be okay.
That's going to be okay. Feather, feather. And Jordana, I've been reading Betches since 2010. You helped redefine female humor.
No big deal.
I mean, I'll take your compliment, please.
Jared, you relate to every 35-year-old
Hey,
New
you
Jersey.
fat fuck, I'm the same as you. And I'm from New Jersey, which is kind of Boston. Thanks. The fuck? What is this, Mel Robbins? I come with a red flag or deal breaker about me. I'm one of the boys. The question was sparked by me recently attending my second bachelor party as the only girl of over 15 straight men doing typical bachelor party activities. This gets very mixed reactions.
What are typical bachelor party activities?
Drinking, ball busting, golf maybe.
Sports activity
Sports,
of some
gambling.
sort.
Yeah, I don't know, typical. I've been on the cheesy bachelor party. I've been on the fun one.
I assume it's closer to the cheesy one.
Probably.
Which is typical.
Jersey.
And they're inviting a woman. So
right. What do you think of that? Like inviting the opposite sex to...
I've had gay friends invited on
The Bachelorette?
On The Bachelorette. I don't know if it matters that if they were straight,
What's the dynamic?
It's like totally...
No.
Like a nothing thing. Like it's like the same as...
I can't believe that she's just the one straight
It's different
woman.
with the straight. I think maybe because she's straight, it feels different. I don't know why. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know.
Might be. I don't know. Well, why don't... you have 15 straight dudes.
If
Like no one makes a play.
I don't know. I guess we don't have any straight guy friends that we would invite on a bachelorette. I've never heard of that.
Right. I don't think it's unheard of, but I agree with
There's something about it.
Well, she even says this gets very mixed reactions. My dad, for example, said, that's fucking weird.
I don't think
what
it's...
a caring father. Well, this guy, I wonder why she's like, oh yeah, this is why, this is line one in therapy.
Right. I don't think it's as weird for her.
It's not weird for her. I can understand the dad being like, hey, you're 35 and you're writing into a dating podcast, so I'm assuming you want to find someone. What's with all these guys? My parents say that to me. What about these women? You can't date one of these women? That's like my parents' thing to me.
If you went on a bachelorette party, what would your dad say?
He would say that's
a couple
fucking
times.
weird.
A couple times.
I guess we are more alike.
Maybe you're do they know each other?
Yeah. Is this my lost sister? The thing is, I genuinely fit in with these guys. I'm fun, low maintenance, loyal. What is she, the dog?
Yeah.
This is Ronnie. And I organize Ubers. I don't have an Uber organizer friend.
Right.
What are you, their assistant? Make sure the AC's on. # wifey, right?
Okay.
But no one's ever jumping to date me. Makes me wonder if being one of the guys is actually keeping me single. I suck at apps and tell myself it's because I'm personality forward. Have I blamed my looks and weight for years? Of course. But even that doesn't fully add up. So Jared, would it be weird if a woman told you she gets invited to bachelor parties? Turn off or fun fact? And Jordana, would a girl at a bachelor party make you nervous if you were the bride. Thanks for being my favorite part of my commute. Hashtag always the groomsman, never the bride. It's a good email. I appreciate everything about it because it is like, I got these friends. I'm close with them. Like she plays it up.
She has mostly guy friends. Yeah.
Right. I get the Ubers and I get the AC. I get, she can't, that's not why you're there.
Yeah. And I know a lot of women who have mostly guy friends. I don't think that part is strange at all.
When I hear this, there's gotta be a reason.
Why she has mostly guy friends?
Why she's on this bachelor party. Like if I'm to zone in on the bachelor party.
She gets along better with men than women, seemingly.
Whenever I hear that from women, they generally are like fucking assholes. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
Or they're like, just have that be. I don't need. Whenever it's the self.
I think there's like a judgment of women when you say that. It feels like there is one. Like oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Like girl drama. They would always like say that.
Yeah, they're ass.
And I'm like, that's my favorite part.
Right, and it's also like then have friends that don't have drama. Like whenever I hear like a woman say I don't have any girlfriends, that's more. Not having girlfriends is way more like what's going on. And refusing them, going, I don't get along with other girls.
Right.
That's way more of a thing that jumps out at me than if you say, well, I have like a lot of male friends. I actually like went on 2 bachelor parties. That's totally different. That's not
What would
negative.
you think?
I would have questions,
of
course. Like, how do you know the guys? Like, did you go to high school together? Have you known each other since like birth? And like, you still hang out with them? Were you on a softball team with them and suddenly like...
Are you the only girl on the bachelor party?
Right. Yeah. Are you the only one there? What makes you so close with these guys? Mm-hmm. Do they try to fix you up? Have you ever been fixed up with any of them?
Right. I don't think that in itself would be like... Would it be a turn off?
None of this is turn off. If I was on a date with a woman, I'm there because I'm attracted to her. And then to find out this information, I'd be like, oh, she's got friends. That's cool.
Yeah.
Again, to go back to like, I don't have any female friends, that to me is
That's a red
thing.
flag.
Opt out, you have friends. Opt out, you don't like women.
Okay. So opt out, you're on the bachelor party.
Right.
Opt out, it's because you don't get along with women.
Right. If that's your like defining how you define yourself.
Yeah.
I've met those. You've got to have met those women.
Of course,
that, like they define themselves by not being friends with women.
Right.
And I'm always, to me, that's like a dog whistle. Like, you know, to me, in the same way, when someone's like, New York has gone to hell. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in this horrible political conversation. When someone says, I don't get along with women, I don't usually like women, I don't usually find women to be my friends. I'm like, here we go.
Do you have any friends who are only friends with guys like you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't clearly because they wouldn't be friends with me.
Right. Do you have any male friends? Like I have male friends. Like I think like
Mike.
How about a man who goes on a bachelorette party, straight guy, man with only female friends? I can understand that. It's a little weird. That would also
be a little weird.
Yeah.
I think again, like if he had a lot of female friends, been on a bachelorette party. Still a little weird unless there were many guys on, and if there were multiple men on it. I think I would be fine with it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would think like, what are they talking about? I don't know. I feel like more like it's more conversation oriented for women.
Right. This is more activity. Like this woman could be on the bachelor party and not talk to the guys the whole trip.
Yeah.
I just saw a TikTok about a guy like he went golfing with his divorced friend. I think it was a Brian Regan joke.
Okay.
Brian Regan has a joke about his wife being like, "Oh, you went to golf with Rick, and Rick just got a divorce," and she's like,
"Oh yeah,
what happened with Rick?" And then he's like, "I have no idea."
That's Mike. After literally any time he hangs out with anyone ever.
Right. So a woman being on a bachelor party, you're like, they don't talk anyways.
Right. Like I would find out. Yeah. But I think.
But a guy being on a bachelorette party, you're like, did you like lay in bed with everyone in your matching PJs? Like, what the fuck were you doing there?
I kind of agree. If I'm being totally honest, I think I would be turned off by a guy who went on, especially if he's the only guy on multiple bachelorette parties. Mm-hmm. I think that would turn me off. Whether that's also, like wrong or right, I don't know.
Right. And I think for a man, it would be like, are you lying? Who are you lying to, them or yourself?
Right. Or do you just really enjoy straight women's company? No, here's the thing. I feel like very few men love hanging out with large groups of straight women.
You have to, I have, as someone who's hung out, like, I probably hang out with more women than most guys.
Okay.
You assume a certain role.
Right. Would you want to go away for a weekend with them? Like if I was like
I think
Jared,
I've been away with you guys. When we all went to Cannes. That was a fun weekend, but there was work and also like we kind of did our own thing at certain points. Like it wasn't
if I invited you on my bachelorette party, would you go?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
But no thanks.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I would be very flattered, but I would also go, you kids go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you would like actually want to spend like a weekend with like a bunch of straight women. And that's again not.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if that's not wrong. Want. It's just not comfortable. The whole friend thing.
Am I going to get invited to your future bachelor party?
You're more than welcome.
Great. I'll be there.
Just be me and my phone.
Would I go?
Yeah. Would you go? I mean, I don't know what I would even do. My brother didn't have a bachelor party.
Yeah.
The whole friend thing. It's funny how like there's a weird thin line between weird and not weird when it comes to like male-female friendship. Mm-hmm. And it's a little more of a vibe than it is like a said thing.
I agree. It's like it's unspoken. It's hard to define. It's hard to put your finger on.
Right. I had a woman on a dating app recently. She goes, we can be friends. And I was like, ugh, who do you think you are?
Oh, like after a date?
Look, no, it was on a dating app. They're like, hey, if you're like looking for West Village friends, here's my number. I'm like, I don't even like the way that was said.
Yeah. So
this friend thing, like, okay, for her, I don't think it would be, as long as she's not out here making it her personality. If someone says, I hate my
I agree. I wouldn't introduce yourself as I'm a thick woman. What does she call herself? A weight-struggling 35-year-old Jewish Jersey girl who is only friends with men and goes on multiple bachelor parties. I wouldn't introduce myself like that. I would just be who you are.
Right. And let people figure out.
Right. Don't define yourself like that.
Who are your closest friends? Jimmy, Ronald, Dave. All men?
Yes.
Yeah, they're kind of like who I just connect with. I've known them for years. And I have some female friends, but they're just not as close as Jimmy, Ronald, and Dave. Look at Ronald's one of my new names.
Ronald?
Ronnie. Yeah. Yeah. So
I opt
out to her predicament. We solved dating again.
We did it. I'm proud of us. We'll be back on Friday with Friday Feels episode.
So thanks everyone for writing in, and thank you again to our sponsors, Bailey's non-dairy liqueur made with oat milk. I don't know about you, but I think I would have Bailey's made with oat milk in my coffee more if I was by a pool. If I'm at your pool,
yes,
this is
we are
happening.
definitely breaking out the Bailey's.
I gotta say, Bailey's made with oat milk would take any daytime hang and bring it to the next level. I'm a huge fan. What a way to enhance the beach. Are you kidding me? I love an iced coffee at the beach.
Perfect pool drink.
Perfect pool drink. Perfect drink to have in your hand while looking at the water. I love it. Opt oat with Bailey's non-dairy liqueur made with oat milk. Please drink responsibly. Bailey's non-dairy liqueur, 17% alcohol by volume. Paddington LTD, New York, New York. Do not forward to anyone under 21. Well, we did it again. We solved dating.
We did it. We'll be back on Friday.
Boom.